What's up and good afternoon, guys. Welcome back to another video. Today we're going over my winter camp loadout. I'm going to show you what we got and what we use for winter camping out of my truck. So stay tuned and we'll be right back right after this. Okay guys, we're back. Now, as you can see here, we got a bunch of stuff sitting here. I've got my backpack on, and I'm going to show you exactly what we use for winter camping out of my truck. And actually I got two more things to grab, so give me just a second. Let me go grab those 1 second. Sorry, I almost forgot about these. So those are my lanterns that I use. And then, if I can grab this. Alright, so this here is my lantern hanger. And this was made by my brother. And this is what I use to hang my oil lanterns from. So I've got two of these. Very cool to have. Enjoy them. And this is what I take with me when I go winter camping, and I leave it in the back of the truck. So let me put this back up in there real quick and set that up out of the way. And then we'll take these two little oil lanterns here and I'll set those up out of the way. All right, so we'll set those right there for right now. Okay, now on to everything else that you see here. So first things first is I use the One Tigress camping hot tent. This one here is kind of like in the shape of kind of like a baker's tent, sort of, or well, I don't know, more like a wall tent maybe. I don't know, but I'm not going to show you how it goes set up. What I'll do is I might try and find a picture to throw in somewhere along the line. But anyway, that's what we use. Is we use the One Tigress hammock hot tent. And we use our hammock inside of here. Alright, so the next thing that I have, once I get my hammock set up, is we use this Kelty brand hammock hot pad. And this basically is what I use to put underneath my sleeping bag to sleep on. Kind of a pain in the butt to use, but or not really to use, but just to like get in and out of the bag and whatnot. This one here has an R value of 3 on it. Does pretty well. However, I have since ordered a new sleeping pad, and the R value on it is a 6.6, and it is by Atepa. That's A-T-E-P-A. And anyway, I have it in the truck, and we'll do a unbagging on it because it came in an Amazon bag. But this is what I use for my sleeping pad, is the Kelty pad. So I'll set that over here now. All right, now once we got the hammock hot tent, we got the pad set up. I bought one of these from Home Depot, and basically all it is a beach pad. You put it down so that way you don't like get a lot of the sand and dirt and what have you. You lay this out, and then I use this to stand on or sit on to put on my shoes, put on my socks and that kind of stuff, so that way I don't like constantly drag dirt in and out of the hammock. And so that's a really good deal. Like I said, it's just a little beach mat, and it folds out to about, I think it's a 3x4, I think 3 foot by 4 foot pad. So that's really nice to have. Then the next thing that I have is my military sleep system. Now this is a deal where you get your outer patrol bag, the intermediate bag, and the bivy that comes with it. It's a little bit of a pain to get this in and out. I'm going to do a big long review on this because I've been using it now for a couple of years. You can still get them. You can get them at any of your military surplus. You can also get them online on Amazon. I do have a link for that, so I'll throw that in a link down in the description for the military sleep system. If you're completely clothed upright, you got all your base layers on, your intermediate layers, and then your upper layers and everything, like if you're dressed correctly and you use this military sleep system with the bivy, the intermediate bag, and the outer bag, you can go down into, I think they say, roughly the -40 range, somewhere right around there. And I've used it down in the mid-teens, and I've been perfectly comfortable, very, very warm, to the fact that I've had to unzip the foot portion of it to let in some air because it got so hot. But that's the military sleep system. It comes with the bivy. The bivy is in the woodland camo on this particular model. They have them in the digital camo. There's different brands, so some of them come in gray, some of them come in the military green, which is what this one is the military green with the black and the woodland camo bivy. So that's what I use inside the hammock on top of my sleeping pad. So I'm going to set that over to the side. Now, the next thing that I use is made by Metals of America. It is the inner poncho liner for a military poncho. Everybody calls it the whoopee, and so I've got one of those. I got it from Amazon through one of the military surplus companies. It is the whoopee, and this one here comes in the woodland camo as well. So as you can see, is the woodland camo. Shove that back down in there. Now, what I use the whoopee for is quite different than everybody else would probably use it. So inside the hammock hot tent, to help kind of conserve a little more of the heat inside my hammock, I take the military poncho and I turn it kind of on a diagonal and let it kind of hang over the hammock in kind of a diamond shape. And I put it from one end to the other, and it really conserves a lot of the heat inside the hammock. And then what I'll do is the little ties that tie onto the poncho, I take those little ties and I tie them underneath the hammock, and it holds the top on, so that way like a lot of the heat doesn't escape. So that has been invaluable piece of gear for me since I've had it. So I'll take and set that right there for right now. Now let me take off my backpack here real quick. Now, as you can see, I have my fixed blade knife on here. It's attached to my shoulder strap here, and it's just a really quick, like, I can get to it real fast and then put it back in its sheath. So it's a quick grab when I need it. It's right there, so I can just reach up, grab it, and pull it as I need it. So that's kind of a neat piece of gear to have. All right, let me set this up here, take this off. All right, so this is the Marting Top 75-liter backpack. That's what I currently use. Been an invaluable piece of gear for me. I've had no issues out of it. I just started getting some more issues. Well, I just started getting some issues out of this thing, and I'll show you what I'm dealing with. It's not really all that bad. It's just right here behind this pocket on the inside. It's got a little bit of a tear going across the top up here where it's torn apart. But it's just from all the use that I've, like I use my gear and it gets tore up, and I fill this backpack, probably overstuff it more than I probably should, but it gets the job done. All right, so we'll start with this outer pocket over here. So in this outer pocket over here, I've got my Husky axe, which I use to process wood with. And then I have my Fisker's folding saw. So I use those to process my wood with, and they go right there in that little pocket right there. I know, you're gonna yell at me, it should have a sheath on it. I know, all right, I get it. I just don't have one for it. I haven't made one for it. I will eventually. All right, spin this one around over here. And over here, I've got my ridge line and some zip ties in this pocket here. All right. Now, let me lay this down right there. Spin this around real quick. All right. As you can see, I have on top my military wool blanket, and what I'll do is inside that military sleep system, I take this military wool blanket and I kind of wrap it around my body toward the zippers, so the like top of it will be over here. It'll wrap around and go underneath me and keep the air out from the zippers. The zippers on this do have a flap on them that covers them, but it's just an extra layer, so that way I'm assured that I'm going to stay warm. All right, so in this first pocket here, we have all of my first aid kit, hand sanitizer, sewing kit, Q-tips, and some water purification. So that's all that's in that pocket there. All right, so in this bottom pocket here, this is where I store all of my water purification. So I've got the Sawyer Mini and the Sawyer Squeeze. So you can use that to process some water. So if you need to like get in a creek or a river or lake or whatever, take the water out of it, put it in here, use your Sawyer Mini, screw it on here, and squeeze it into a bottle to purify it. Also, I have a life straw. And any of the stuff that I have in here, I will have links to in the description. This here is my USB chargeable flashlight. And then a couple of hanks of paracord. And another knife that my brother made for me. It's made with a railroad spike. And my brother made that for me. Pretty cool piece of gear. And all that lives right down in there. Okay. All right, now for the inside, which is what you've all kind of been waiting for. All right, so this is what I was talking about right here, and I'll bring you in a little bit closer here. All right, so as you can see right here, the pocket is kind of starting to rip away from the front of the backpack here. Other than that, that's really the only issues that I've had with this backpack. Everything else is still great. I've got no other issues with it. I said it's just kind of ripping apart right here a little bit. This is like the first like tears that it's actually started getting after 2 or 3 years of use. So I think it's pretty good. All right, so let me move you back here just a little bit. All right, and we're going to pull everything out of here one by one, and I'll show you what we use. All right, so first things first is I have my little butane Coleman stove and my little butane canister, and the stove just kind of goes screwed onto here, and then I've got a little pot, like a little stand thing that attaches to the bottom of it, that if I'm like on unlevel ground or whatever, and it'll kind of like help it to keep it from teetering over. All right, next, this is my Sea to Summit dry bag, and I keep all of my food in here. Now, when I'm out winter camping, either my food will go inside the truck, or I'll take it and hang it from a tree and hang it up high in a limb somewhere, keep animals and stuff out of it. All right, we'll get to that in a minute. That's all, something else I'll discuss in a moment. All right, next is my base layer, which I've got on right now. I've got the pants here. I got some wool socks, the merino wool socks. Always have an extra pair of socks and an extra pair of your base layers on. very invaluable to have, especially if you get wet or start getting cold or something like that. I always keep a base layer extra put in here. Right now I've got the shirt on, so I'll just leave this out here. Alright, next is my Gold Armor Woodland Camo Tarp, and sometimes I'll use this, sometimes I won't. Just depends on what I need at the time. Generally when I'm out winter camping, this really doesn't come along with me. It'll stay behind because I'm inside the hammock hot tent, and I usually just kind of do everything inside the hot tent there. So Gold Armor tarp right there. That is a 3 meter by 3 meter tarp, by the way, and I do have links to this as well. Alright, next, this is the Ridge Outdoor Gears 11-foot hammock and the hammock top to help pull in, keep some more heat in. You put the top on the hammock and it helps to conserve some more of that heat. Along with that Whoopee, it really conserves a lot of the heat in the hammock. Alright, next is some extra, a bag of extra paracord, extra stakes and stuff like that. If I need to tie some extra tie outs on the tent, or if I need to put up an extra ridge line or whatever the case may be to dry clothes or whatever. So I've got extra paracord and stakes for that. Alright, next is my Camp Cook set. Now this says Gold Armor on the front of it, but it's not made by, well, some of it's made by Gold Armor, but it's not. It's I actually have a Stanley Cook kit in here, and part of the Gold Armor kit that's in here. I'll put links to both of those, so that'll be in the description as well. So normally I've got the little ladle, but this time I've got the spatula, and it just all clips together like that, and I can use that to stir with or whatever. So alright, set that there for just a minute. Alright, so this is the top to a bowl, to one of the Stanley bowls in the Stanley kit, and currently I use it as more of a cutting board or something to process food with. So that goes in the very bottom. And then next is the Stanley pot, a lid, and then the lid to the secondary Gold Armor pot. I got my folding silverware, knife, fork, and spoon, a folding cup, and then there's the legs to the butane bottle, so it holds it in place. A little plastic cup, and then the inner Gold Armor pot. So that's all that's there. And it does have the little fold out handles on it, so you can use those. And all that just kind of goes right there. The little bowl, the cup, the deal for that, and then silverware, the lid, and then the Stanley lid, and then all that folds up just like that, and it goes right into this little Gold Armor pouch. And then I take the spatula, turn it upside down, put it on top of the lid, and then put one on either side of the handles like that. And there's the cook set all done. Okay. Now, I also carry a shemagh with me, and what I'll do with this is I can use it to like keep my hands warm, or I can wrap it around my face as a buff. or I can put it around my head, whatever, kind of help me stay a little bit more warm. Then I have my Ozark Trail camping chair, and that just lives on the side over there. And then I also have the One Tigress hammock underquilt. This is the double underquilt, and it's made for a 11-foot hammock, so that goes in there, and that just shoves right there in the bottom. And then I have my little bushcraft grill, and that lives here in the back pocket of the backpack, which is where your hydration bladder can go, or whatever else you want to put in there. I do have a hydration bladder, but it normally goes in the hydration bladder zipper in the back. So we put all this back up in here real quick. Put it all back like it goes. Right there. Alright, and then up here is all my fire starting stuff. So I got a bellows, some duct tape, a Bic lighter, my ferro rod, magnesium fire starter, my flint and steel, magnifying glass tweezers, my steel strikers inside here with my charred cloth, waterproof matches, bandana, and some homemade fire starters. All that goes right there. So yeah, I'm like way overstuffed, I know that. So it is what it is. Alright, there. Okay. That's what it was. Maybe I just got it turned wrong. There we go. Yeah. All right. Now, turn this over. And inside the back pocket up here, got a knife and fork, a fork and spoon. I got my toque. So that will go like that. Got my gloves, an extra flashlight, which I made into kind of a lantern using a little soap squeezer thing. You put your soap in. And I've got my Cooksa cup, a pair of binoculars, some tea, my Esbit stove. So it's my little folding Esbit stove. Right in the rain pad, my face buff, my GCI candle lantern, some tripwire, a deck of playing cards, another deal of folding silverware, and my spice rack. So all this has is like my salt, pepper, cayenne, onion powder, garlic powder, turmeric, cinnamon, sugar, whatever, it's all in here. So all that goes right back down in there, like so. Of course, my tripwire, face buff, Esbit stove, right in the rain pad, tea, flashlight, my gloves, my spoon and fork, and my toque. So all that goes right in there just like that. And that's pretty much my winter camp setup, guys, right there. That's pretty much it. So everything's packed just like it goes. And just like that, everything's ready to go. So what I'll do is I'll have links to all this down in the description to all the stuff that's here. If you guys find anything useful, something that y'all would want, something that y'all need, links to that's going to be all down below. So let me go ahead and get this back on real quick. Oh, that's not what I wanted. There we go. All right. All right. And just like that, that's it, guys. Appreciate y'all joining me today. And hope y'all find it useful. If there's anything here that interests you, something that you want to know a little bit more about, put it down in the comments down below, and I'll try and get a video out for you guys. But pretty much that's it. That's all I got. So until next time, guys, as always, I'm Red Fox with Red Fox Outdoors. Get out and enjoy nature. Bye, guys.